Well, hello, guys, and welcome to the Woke Africa Show. My name is Ejewa, and I'm coming to you live right from Accra, Ghana. And I mean, boy, a lot is happening, guys. A lot is happening. There's so many things that we've come out here to tell people about, and it's just so many people not believing it. But there is more to it out there than we think. A lot is going on than we think. And, it's just been amazing. Um, you just know what people are planning. And then later you find out that you've been right all along. And it's crazy. But guys, we warned you about it. We told you about it. Okay. That it's not just your social media that is going. The ultimate plan, allegedly, is for the entire internet communication to be wiped out. So, um, you know, you have to hold your horses and be prepared for the end of social media, the end of, internet and everything. But, it can't, everything starts with a drop of water. Everything starts with, you know, something to prepare your mind, to get you in the mood. Okay. For example, when COVID started, it started as, oh, it's something from Wuhan and this and that. And, we just want herd immunity and this and that, and wear your mask. And people thought it was going to be 2 weeks, it was going to be 3 weeks, and it kept going. And now, what's happening? Never going away. So, yes. Hey, Mr. Pirate Brain. Hey, Ragged Discipline. Really good to see you guys here. This is Akosia Ijiwa, your girl right from Accra, Ghana, reporting on the Woke Africa Show. So let me tell you about, hey guys, and I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to put it um in the chat box because I want your input in this. Okay, guys, I want your input. Now, I was trying to send a message to someone this afternoon, and then all I could realize was that there was that timer block on it. There was that timer on it. So I was just waiting and waiting for the message to go. And it never occurred to me. It actually never occurred to me at all that, you know, something like this was going to happen. Because sometimes if I don't have internet and I send a message out, it's like I immediately just feel like, okay, I need to buy data for this message to go. So I don't know if you experienced it today, because the first instinct I had when my WhatsApp messages was not going through was for me to get more data, for me to buy more data. And so I went on MTN and I got data. When I got data, I was still waiting for this information to be sent, and it wasn't going. So I was like, okay, what's happening? Do I need to restart my phone? And that is after what time? I think about 3 p.m. Ghana time, 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. Ghana time, around that time. So I just kept on trying. I recharged, I switched off my phone and I switched it back on, but then the same situation was still going on. My messages were not going. So I didn't pay it any mind because it's not like I was expecting anything. And I was about to ask people, like, have you experienced this sending WhatsApp messages and it's not going through? Like, I was literally about to ask people if they've had the experience of sending WhatsApp messages and it wasn't going through. And then all of a sudden, my phone, bam, 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 you know, um, WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, they're all down, crashed. And I'm like, what? WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram, Instagram. Like, I mean, yes, we expect it. Like, I know it's part of the whole agenda, but it's just, I wasn't, it just took me by surprise, and I believe you guys, like, you guys felt the same thing. So, I just started to look around, look around Facebook. I started to look around, like, I started to look everywhere. And I just, I was surprised to hear. And guys, there is a lot of information going around about what is actually happening. And so I'm going to be using a lot of allegedly in my talking right now, because, when things like this happen, people take to social media and they say their stuff. I'm actually waiting for someone who has more information about this to come on board and talk, like, talk about it. I can't wait for you to call in and share your experience. So I've posted a link in the chat box, so you can click on the link and join me in the conversation. Thank you so much for coming online. This is the Woke Africa Show. Today we have a lot to talk about. Social media collapse. How are we staying in touch? There are a lot of businesses on social media, like Instagram. Oh my God, there is like 1,001 businesses, like way more than that. But I would just use 1,001 as like an expression. Okay. And it's like so many people invested a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot in these social media platforms. Okay. Like, how is the stock market even going to look like tomorrow? Like, every single thing. But the point is, if you live entirely on these social media, okay, platforms, then you definitely have like a lot to worry about. And well, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, because social media is like a sole consumer. Like, the average person spends like about 4 hours every day on social media. Like, the average person, like, I'm not talking about the person who is, oh, okay, so I'm guessing feedback. They say someone, Kofi Labi, thank you so much. Kofi Labi says they're back online. Okay, great. But just look at this as a simulation, okay? Because the overall thing, okay, it includes the offing, the going away of social media, of possibly the internet. So this, I wouldn't even doubt if this was a simulation. I would not doubt it, if because there were several simulations of COVID before it was actually launched. So I wouldn't doubt it if this was a simulation, of course, but even if they're back online, but I'm going to go and check. Really, I'm going to go and check to see if they are back online, because I realized that, see, well, I don't think so. I don't know where you're getting. Okay, guys, thank you. I actually went back, Kofi Labi. So you should go back and check, because I actually went back to check and my messages are still not going. So I think that maybe they are being able to retrieve some information. Um if your WhatsApp is working, then that's amazing. If your Facebook is back, please call in and let us know. if your Facebook is back on or your WhatsApp is back on, because mine is not. I just checked on WhatsApp just right now in the live, and is not. Hey, happy Kamendu. Welcome aboard, goddess. So good to see you. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button to support the show. So I guess what I was trying to say is, if you check your WhatsApp and it's back online, that's good. Mine is not back online. So okay. Happy Commentu says we need to look for other apps to use. Yeah. I mean, there are some social media apps. I think was it Social Africa? Yeah, I think Social Africa came up some time back. But if you ask me, I really think we need an alternative source of communication. Social media out, something, even if it's Morse code or whatever it is, that we need to communicate, that is not entirely in the hands of a handful of people who can just decide to strike it down anytime they want. Okay, even if it means we develop our psychic abilities right back up again, then that's what we have to do, because communication is such an integral, such an important part of our everyday lives, that we can't just decide to we can't just decide to sit by and let a few people decide for us, either we stay in communication or not, because without communication nothing happens. So we need our own way of communication. Like, it doesn't matter. When I was a kid, we used to pass information down to each other on milk tins with ropes. And as long as that worked, that's what we used. Well, now, guys, okay, so let me read Akosia, Nana Akosia, welcome. Wow, I didn't even know it was down. I sent a message this morning and it didn't get a reply, and no other messages since this morning. Yes, Nana, it was down. Okay, it was a massive crash. Telegram was also part of it, but Telegram really is not Mark Zuckerberg's I'm sorry if I didn't get the name right, but Telegram is not his channel. Telegram is not part of his channel. So I don't know why Telegram was part of the whole thing, because I know Telegram was developed by some Russian guys. So I don't know why Telegram was also hacked. I don't know. Yeah, the speculation is ongoing, but I don't know why Telegram was also down. So guys, if you check your WhatsApp and it's actually back, okay, let's know. Call in, tell me if you saw it. If you didn't see it, like, the link is up there. Just scroll up there. The link to call in is there. Call in, and then I'm definitely going to bring you online, and then let's talk about this, because this matters. Social media, staying online matters. A lot of people have their businesses on WhatsApp. A lot of people have their businesses on Facebook. A lot of people, businesses have their communication tools on WhatsApp. Um, Instagram is another, business hub. And so if it's just gonna up and go off like that, it's like, what the hell? Excuse my language. So so the speculations going around, and let's say Kofi Labi says, let's go back to smoke, messaging, and drum language. Ooh, Kofi. Yeah, I mean, you see, like, sometimes we joke with some of these things, but when our ancestors had no Facebook and WhatsApp and YouTube and stuff like that, how were they communicating? They were keeping the communication going. They were definitely keeping it going and making sure that they were passing messages to each other. I mean, we have to have an alternative means of communication. Like, we can't say that, without these platforms, like our entire existence, our entire ability to link with each other across the globe is just going to be depend on somebody sitting on a computer, and if they press enter, we're all fucked. Like, is that even normal, guys? Is that even normal? Like, all the IT guys, professionals, like, you guys, we should come up with an alternative. You see, this is an example of, if you put your entire trust in the hands of one person, let me tell you, people disappoint, systems disappoint. That is why we have to look, as we are looking to changing our food to more natural ways of eating, we have to look at communication to more natural ways of communicating. Because how are we psychic beings, but we don't use our psychic powers at all? In ancient days, that is why in Akan there's a saying, "Sewubo obidin na sewe nhuna na bibi ayeno." You know, we could communicate psychically, but those are stories definitely for other days, guys. So I'm going to take a bit of your comments and we're going to go on, because what the heck is going on social media? We're going to hit every point here tonight. Okay, so who is that bold, strong, intelligent, outgoing, fun-loving person who wants to call in and help me like talk about this? I'm just waiting for that hero, guys. So I'm gonna take a few of your comments. Nanakosa says on Jaws and Soft Talk are both African owned, but on Jaws is Android only. Okay, so Agosia just gave you a few other options. So this is, look, when WhatsApp changed their policies, their information policies, and I was here like this, and I gave like a rundown. A lot of YouTubers came on to explain what WhatsApp policies were, and after everything, we advised people to at least get Telegram, go on Telegram. And so what I did with my platforms was that I also opened accounts on Telegram. Okay, I also opened accounts on Telegram, and that is what has helped me now. Because when the whole WhatsApp wasn't working, I mean, I'm hearing feedback from Kofi Labi that it's working, but I don't know. Mine is not working at the moment, so I don't know if yours is working. If yours is working, let us know. But if I hadn't opened an account on Telegram, with my WhatsApp account, I think I wouldn't also be able to talk to anybody by now. But because I have accounts on Telegram, like, I'm able to communicate with my people on Telegram. And that is phenomenal. It's amazing to at least have one social media outlet to like ask your people, like, guys, do you know what is going on? That is phenomenal. Kofi says, I'm learning about new African apps here. Thanks, Ijiwa. Welcome, Kofi. Thank you so much. Why aren't you calling in, Kofi? Call in and let's talk. Join a conversation. So, why did these social media apps crash, guys? Like, have you asked yourself the question why these social media apps crashed? Well, something like this happened on such a large scale, and you're thinking that conspiracy theory won't come in. Yeah, conspiracy theory came in. Now, well, I guess it's still coming in. And okay, okay, so let me take a few of your comments, because this is a live show and people are reporting live on what is going on with their own social media. Guys, let me know what's going on with your own social media. Are you getting messages? Are you retrieving your messages? What is happening? Are you able to send? Because for me, when I send, it checks one. It doesn't go. It doesn't check again. I just sent a message and it's just a timer on it. It's not going. So let me know if your Facebook, your WhatsApp, or anything is working as we go on. Okay, but now we're into what people are rumoring about the causes of this crash. Okay, it's been rumored, okay, and I say rumor because that's what it is. There hasn't been any kind of confirmation from any other source, but it's just rumor still online. And it is being rumored that allegedly Facebook hacked themselves allegedly to kind of distract from an expose that is happening, is coming on 60 minutes expose. And that expose is about somebody who worked in Facebook and saw or got grabbed evidence of, I stand corrected though. If any of you have heard about this, you can call in and come in. And as I said, this is something that is being alleged. So I'm in no way saying these are facts. And so for the purposes of conversation, I'm using this. If it comes out to be facts, then remember, you heard it on Woke Africa Show. So it is being alleged that a whistleblower from Facebook got information about an internal research that was conducted about how Facebook is being used as a tool of violence and in some other way to influence Instagram in some other ways to influence young teenagers in the wrong way, and how Facebook is more interested in their profits in making money over actually dealing with all these violent materials on Facebook and its affiliated our social media platforms. Now, that is one aspect of the story. Another aspect is that hackers have actually hacked into Facebook and have erased the is it DSN? Like, is there an IT guy here? Maybe an IT guy can come on and help me with the technical terms. But the DSN data information has been erased allegedly from Facebook service. And so the information that redirects you back to Facebook, like when you click on something, it takes you back. When you search for something, it takes you back. When you sign in, it takes you to your page and stuff. All that information, which even like when you type Facebook on the internet, which directs you back to Facebook, like all of that information has been completely erased from the DSN service, and it's gonna take a long time for Facebook and WhatsApp to actually function properly. Hey, Mr. Pirate Brain, please cool in, guys. Cool in. Let us hear from you. What is the conspiracy theory or rumor mill spilling out? Okay, so I'm trying to bring to you what rumor mill is bringing out. So about the crash. So if you have any alleged rumors going on, rumors, like rumors, please call in. Kindly scroll up. I have the link there. Call in and let's talk about it because social media affects everybody. Now, I'm going to take a few of your comments. Mr. Pirate Brain, it is such a thing of fresh air. It's just a breath of fresh air to see you back on. Please hit the like button if you're here, and let's keep the conversation going. Okay, because this channel is all about conversation. Welcome to the Woke Africa Show. This is your girl Akosia Ejewa from Accra, Ghana, representing live, and we're talking about Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, which Telegram crash lasted for just a second, but for a second it was also gone. So Telegram is back and fully functioning. So let me put that across. But Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp crash was a thing. I don't know if it still is a thing, because it still is a thing on my end. I don't know if it's still a thing on your end, but let us know if you are getting okay. Welcome.
Hey, how you
Hello.
doing?
Hello.
I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yes, I haven't talked to you in a while too, Mr. Pirate Brain, David. It is so good to have you back.
Yeah, it was good to see you. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think it was a crash. I think it was shut down on purpose.
Oh, great. Please
Yeah,
let us
they
hear more.
I think it was last week or sometime. Was it Kissinger? One of these old people that worked in the White House said that they were going to have to do something about the social media, because if not, there was going to be a big backlash in the United States with everything that's going on. I mean, because right now they're forcing you to get the shot here. If you don't get the shot, I think by last Friday, a lot of people in New York, all the New York workers that didn't have the shot were going to get fired. And now Biden said that if you're a federal worker and don't have the shot, I think it's this Friday, you'll be getting fired. And that's without any, you know,
Compensations.
compensation or anything. So you just get fired. And and the reason why I'm you could say, well, that's a rumor. I don't think it is, because it happens right after he said the federal workers have to get the shot or else.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you know about it. In Georgia, they have these stones called the Georgia Guidestones, and they were put up about 3-4 years ago, maybe longer than that now, because I think they were put up right before Trump got in office. They're these big stones, and it has like a whole like biblical verse on it, and it said on these guide stones that they're going to cut the population down on the earth to about 500,000 people. No one took that seriously, right? No one took it
Oh.
seriously. But
Hmm.
look at what's going on, and they're really pissed off because not that many people in Africa are getting COVID. Because
Mm-hmm.
I remember when it first started, Bill Gates' wife said she had a dream that in
Yep.
Africa there was going to be bodies all over the street from
Mm-hmm.
them, but it never happened.
No.
And until Kenya started having some cases, but Kenya allowed all of the Chinese to come into their country after they had COVID in China. And this is a political issue, because they could have shut down and said, no, if you're from China, you can't come into the country. But
Mm-hmm.
whoever was leading over there didn't have the political willpower to stop them. And we know that they don't mean Kenya any good. I mean, I don't have to really get into that too much, because you know what the deal is. So this
Yep.
whole thing was kind of planned. And what they don't want is an Arab Spring to happen inside of the United States, because we know what happened in Egypt, right?
Yep.
They were using social media to move around their protests. Well, if you
Mm-hmm.
cut down Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook, which has Messenger on it, everything's cut down. They've been streaming back YouTube for the past 2 years. If I leave a comment on your video, it's not you that's erasing it, they will erase it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is what this is what I think is going on. And they said they were going to do it. So I have no reason to doubt that they didn't do it.
Wow. 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 So Skin Deep, sis, Skin Deep. I see you, sis. You were online. I don't know if you're still here, but if you're, I think your call dropped. You can call back. I'd like to give more shouts to Mr. Pirate Brain. More shouts goes to Kofi Labi, Nana Akosia, Plum Jade, and Kin Kenyatta. Really good to see you guys on again. And we are talking about the alleged crash of Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. And those are the Zuckerberg social media apps. What are the implications? What are your thoughts on what just happened? This was a global shutdown. It wasn't just one country experiencing a little bit of shaking here and there. This was a global shutdown of the social media apps. We're going right now talking about what rumor mill is bringing in. We're talking about what fact checkers are saying is
Let me
causing
tell
this.
you one more
Is this?
thing.
Yes, yes,
Let,
please
let me
go
tell you
ahead.
one more thing. I invest in cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency jumped up today almost 30%.
Whoa,
It was going
whoa.
down. It was going down all last week, the week before last. Today, it jumped up about 30%, and some of them even more than that. That has
Oh
something to do
Lord.
with this is not a coincidence. So I just want to let
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It couldn't be. And you're right, Mr. Pirate Brain, and welcome, Skin Deep. Um, I'm going to bring you in on in a minute, but I wanted to say that when these things are happening and you see the stock market misbehaving, going up or down or all of this, then you should know that serious shit is going on. Excuse my words again. You should know that something serious is happening because um people don't joke with their money. So when something is going on and it's definitely going to affect stocks, you know, it's definitely going to affect stocks. You see that people are pulling their money or investing in this or investing in that, then that should tell you that it's not a joke. So if you're listening to this, I hope you're taking a thing or two from David, because these people know what they're doing. Um, they have secret societies for a reason. You and I are not supposed to. No, we're supposed to be sheep following, even if it's going into the ditch. But do not be a sheep. That is why we talk about these things. Let us hear your voice. If you have something to say, come out and say it. Let us discuss it. What the freaking moa is going on? So welcome, Skin Deep. Let's hear from you.
Hey, Mr. Everybody. Yes, the crash. Technically it was designed to be that way. I don't know if anyone watched the 60 Minutes yesterday where the woman whistleblow. So everything is designed to do what it's supposed to do. I was actually on Clubhouse. It's been very, very informative information on things that some know, some don't know enough, and some people just don't know at all. Um, these platforms it's like each of these platforms, so Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, they making profiles of our life and we give them consent to do it. It's just pressure on the masses, and I'm just talking about people, no Pacific people, because it's a lot of these governments who are behind the corporations. It's the corporations that's pushing the buttons to the government, like you're going to do this because they're getting that money. Even just I just found out in Clubhouse about Pandora's paper, how even the president of Kenya have something to do with it too. These governments, these celebrities are putting money offshore because this is just a test run of everything what's happening. All these platforms can be shut down immediately. And then, well, how are we going to communicate with people and keep talking and talking? Some of these platforms like Facebook just give you mostly the negative and give you fluffernutter, just a little bit of the truth. So it's like we have to really stick together with righteous people, period. No matter what region they're from, what color they are, because it's an attack on just the human race. Oh, give me one moment, my son.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please. I was just going to say.
It's very interesting that she says that, because it's really an attack on us, and they've been giving us little bits and pieces, telling us what they're going to do. I have no idea what they are planning for Africa. I mean, you might have a better sense. I think I told you last year I'm working on trying to get to the Gambia.
Yeah.
I stopped coming online and talking about it, because I really don't want people to really know exactly what I'm doing, and how I'm moving, when I'm going to move, and how I'm going to go about that. And because I remember I told you I was thinking about Ghana, but as soon as all of these Black folks from here started moving to Ghana, Ghana started going up on their prices. I mean, back when we were talking about it, I probably could have got a house real cheap. Now, the houses in Accra are the same prices as the houses in the United States. And this is not a dig at Ghana or Accra. It's just, it is what it is. So when they knew that we were moving,
you don't have to worry about houses in Accra, or there are so many alternatives. When you're ready, I'll give you some links. But yeah, there are some houses that are skyrocketing at the moment, and yeah.
And it's good. See, it's good that I know you, but if they shut down all of this social media, how do we talk?
That's
because
the thing.
I used to live in South America, and when I moved back to the States, my phone bill was $600 a month calling my friends there. Now I can talk for free. But if they shut down these apps, that's it. That's it. If they shut down WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook, because right now I can talk to you on Facebook, but from Messenger. I can talk to you in WhatsApp. I never really used Instagram for that, but I heard you could even talk through Instagram, but you can't talk through YouTube like that. You can't communicate in YouTube that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be kind of sad.
It's really kind of sad, and as at this moment, it's a wake-up call for all of us, because you've been given a demonstration, okay, a demonstration of what is part of the NWO and is inevitable. So
Right.
it depends on us, because we are the people. We are the organic, natural people. We are the organic ones. What we accept to be is what is going to be. If are we going to throw our hands in the air and say, okay, so if these people say we shouldn't talk anymore, we're not going to talk anymore, this is the time to start realizing that we have put all our eggs in one basket, and that basket might just crash. So that is the kind of perspective that I got from your submission. And I think every thinking institution of, people or nations should think about these things, that they're so important. Because as you see, there is a divide, there is a split of a world coming on. Okay.
Yeah.
And it is coming on gradually, and they're telling you that at any point in time, you either play by their rules or they kick you out of the system. And with something as minute as, well, I wouldn't say minute, but you wouldn't think it's that significant as WhatsApp and all of that. We all say, oh, well, I'm not addicted to social media. Oh, I can do whatever I want. But the shutdown happens, and you see where everybody is talking about it, because it affects everybody. So we have to think, we have to be a people who think about things that we can own, that nobody can take from us. Do we have anything we can own that nobody can take from us?
They have a few apps. Did she cut off?
Yeah, she cut off. But we have to start, especially us Black Americans over here, we really need to start being self-sufficient on everything.
My internet. Okay. Please go ahead, Skindy. Please go ahead.
I was just telling Mr. Firebrain that, with us Black Americans over here, we really need to start being self-sufficient 100%, because we've been over here for so long. We've been programmed since when we came out of the womb. So
the problem that we're having over here is and this is not created by us, but it's instigated by those people, and they've made a gender war. So, for example, there's a place made by a Black man called The Avenger. I think it's called Black Avenger. And it is an app kind of like YouTube, but nobody goes to it, because you'll see a lot of Black men dissing Black women, and then the Black women will come and diss a Black man, and then a lot of Black women go away because the men are doing this over there. So there's no.
It's we can't even finger point anymore, because everything was been going on. Those other people had a plan. They planned way ahead of time. And at this moment in time right now, there's no time to point fingers.
No, I'm not. I don't want you to misunderstand me.
Oh, okay.
Fingers. I'm just saying what's going on. It's not a question of blaming each other. It's a time that we have some places, but because we don't service those places and go to them, we wind up losing them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand. I'm just reading a comment from Happy. Getting each other contacts and emails is very imperative. Yes. That right there is very imperative, because who's on landline now here in the States? Who has a landline?
That's a legitimate question, Skin Deep, because I think that we have, because of the convenience of modern day social media, we have kind of like outgrown ourselves out of more reliable kind of communication systems and have given 100% to social media. And this was a simulation. This was, this was to say that we can take your communication anytime we freaking want to do that. And so this is, if it's not a wake up call for you, then I don't know. Please continue, Skin Deep.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm multitasking. But yeah, like, social media, people don't even socialize like talking face to face, and or even just people just text. You can be sitting right next to someone and they will text you instead of socializing, open up their mouth and talking. But I was a little off subject. But Black Americans, I'm just gonna say Americans. I'm not looking at color, because that's what America was built on color. We have to really sustain ourselves. Most don't grow food, especially if you live in a big city. I live in a big state rather. Don't grow food because everything was just here, 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 here. Now the pressure is on some Black Americans. They don't know what to do because everything been just there, here, here, here. And we was just big consumers over here, but not seeing what was really going on. Going shopping, spending money, doing this, doing other worldly things. Now it's like, oh, what are we gonna do? The time when everybody was sitting down, it's like, oh, some people took advantage of that, built up businesses, some didn't. It's just so much. Hi, Happy. It's just so much. I digress. Let someone else speak.
Yeah, thank you so much, Skin Deep, and you're right. I mean, the points are they just keep flowing, and it's because we all realize at this point, like, what happens if these people switch this off? If they do switch this off, how do we communicate? Because
this is just the beginning. This
that
was just
will.
a test run. It will happen again. This is just a test run. We have these other platforms, but they give you bits and pieces of the truth and give you more negativity. For like Facebook, you can share positive stuff, they'll put you in Facebook jail. But if you post something negative, oh, that's the feed. That's when, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, algorithms, they pick up, just like on YouTube. Like, I even veered away from YouTube so much because it was too much negativity. And, it's one, we know who started this, but we continue to be at each other's throat, down talking each other. We all in the same situation. No matter what color you from or where you are in a part of the world, everybody is going through this.
Black, everybody is going through this.
And if we don't all just don't be on a single vibration and raise up our frequency, what is for the young people, the future? Nothing is going back to normal. Nothing. So I advise people to, like, especially here in America, start learning to grow your own food. Start small. I don't even have a TV in my house.
My electricity just went out. So.
Listen, it's okay. When I was on the continents, I experienced that, but I also experienced it in a different way here in the States. When you don't pay your bill, they come out your light. So I was already used to that. If you don't pay your heating service, you in the cold. Some people won't be used to that. Some people wouldn't know how to live in Africa if the light is off. They off the lights. They wouldn't know. Some, Black Americans, some Black American, and some Black Americans, they're going over there to the continent thinking it's easy. No, it's not easy to live there. Nothing is free there. I'm trying to, let me bring myself down a little bit because I'm trying not to panic. Because then when panic comes, confusion comes. You weaken your immune system. So I'm gonna let Happy speak.
Exactly. So I'm going to take a few of your comments, and then we're going to move to Happy to hear what he has to say, because I see he has some really good comments on the comment section. So so I'm going to go here and say, okay, Kofi says that Melinda misguided dream, she didn't dream her divorce. Okay, so that's some humor right there. Interesting, stocks are down. So Plum just updated us on that. Kofi Labi says, wow, crypto jumped up. Plenty dots coming up. Let's connect the dots. Thanks at Pirate Brain. Happy says, Plum Jade, some stocks down and some are up, depending on the type of stock. SUP Afro King says, remember South Africa? Happy says, I think we need to get each other's numbers and emails. I think it is so important. If you don't have a book where you write numbers, I think this is when you have to start getting that book back. We need to get to be able to stay in touch. And I don't know what plans they have for telephone communications, but ultimately, I think that every single thing that you're used to is gonna come at a price, and I believe ultimately it's gonna be a needle, a price, and ultimately that price can be a needle. So let me take a few of your comments and we move to Happy. It says that Plum says Happy Kamentu was just thinking about the old-fashioned way landlines. Yeah, it's been reliable. Hello, Bijou Noir. Welcome to the house. This is the Woke Africa show. Guys, if you're here, hit the like button because all I see is 4 people, tops. And I believe we are way more than that. By hitting the like buttons, they will know that we have to push the algorithms to be straight with us. So hit the like button to support the show. Okay, so Bijou says, hello family, hello Bijou Noir. Happy says, I saw this coming. They never really give you anything free. Happy Kementu said, yes, I remember that. Kofi says, hello, Bijou. Bijou Noah says, Akofi Labi, hey, family. Kofi says, we have moved from talking directly to each other to talking via text. It is the power they have over us. We just need to get back to socializing in person. This was really a wake-up call. Plum said, we overstand our light going out. That's incredible. Kofi says at Skin Dip, you so right. This will happen again. I agree with the rumor. It is a stimulation, and no whistleblowers. They feeding us all. Thank you. Doreen says hi. Hi, Doreen, and welcome to the Vogue Africa show. Mr. Pirate Brain is back. Hi, Happy. Happy, let us hear from you if you can hear me, Happy. Hello, Happy, are you there? Okay, I think we probably might have lost Happy. But so I just want to know, guys, you know, businesses, small businesses that are dependent on these social media apps to be able to survive, what is going to happen? What's going to happen?
I think if you have a business and you're 100% dependent on social media, you're going to be in a bad place. I think you have to go back to the way it was before social media. And then if it comes back up and starts working, you use it as a plus, but it cannot be your sole means of communicating to your public. It just can't be, you know. And they said it was coming, and now I just saw a video come across my feed where they were saying they're going to have special accounts, so probably paid accounts, so people that don't have the money to consistently pay for YouTube, Instagram, or whatever, they're not going to be there. So you're only going to have like blue check people using these platforms. Anybody here? Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and talk since nobody's there right now. I think what this is going to interrupt is international conversations, as far as being able to talk, uh, for example, from the United States to Africa, being
Yeah,
able to have a direct conversation. I
yeah.
think that would be interrupted.
That is going to be a big blow. Well, I don't even want to say it because we might actually find alternatives, but it's really going to disrupt our ability to connect because um, the skill at which we're connecting from continent to continent, from nation to nation, is
Mhm.
incredible. You
Yeah,
know, in the past couple of years, it's been amazing. It's been incredible. And you have people living with one mind from continent to continent. And we don't have to be, you know, in the vicinity of each other, but we can achieve so much. We can achieve so many amazing things. And that is the power of communication. So, business losses is nothing compared to what will be taken away from us if we don't have the ability to communicate anymore, you know?
also making close friends. I mean, now as African Americans and European uh, Africans, um, we're able to make really good friends on the other side of the planet. You know, I mean, if it wasn't for YouTube, I would never even know you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I wouldn't know what you look like. I wouldn't have been able to have conversations that we've had even in private. It wouldn't have happened. So that's how important that social media has become for us.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take a few of your comments. Doreen says hi. Sophie Lavi says hi. Hello, Doreen. And Doreen says, I don't think there is a conspiracy or economic agenda. The servers got an issue. An issue. Okay, I don't know what you have to think this way, but you can always call in and speak your mind. Um, okay, so Doreen says the whole world is still going to stay connected. Some Happy says some is going on with my network here in New York. Doreen says cyber attacks and hijack is imminent. Doreen, Happy says, Doreen, there is no such thing as a coincidence. Doreen is, I believe, Doreen has hope, and that kind of faith, blind faith that we put in the system, that is what I believe has gotten us here. That kind of blind faith is 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 still very active in most people, where people think, oh, well, it just rains when it wants to rain. Oh, it was just a coincidence that this happened or that happened, and that is what mainstream wants you to believe, so that you never sit up. And one day, bam, they take away your form of communication, and then what happens to you? And I don't want to get into that, but what I know is you have to do your research. You cannot hear things that people tell you and take it like with a pinch of salt. You have to do your research. You have to find out, really, is there an agenda 2030, Doreen? You should Google agenda 2030. You should Google about you own nothing and be happy. There are things that when you hear people say, you should definitely research it and see. It's not going to be my words. It's going to be the words of the very people you trust and believe will keep our systems moving the way you're used to. You should read the information they put out there, their plans for your life, and that will probably make you sit up. So when we talk about agendas, the NWO, and everything that comes with it, it is not my words. It's words that they put out there. When you read and you make meaning out of those words, then you are able to discern and decipher what it is about. So I'll let someone else speak to that.
I believe it is an agenda, and I'll tell you why. All three platforms went down at the same time. Instagram went down, WhatsApp went down, and Facebook. Now, you can say, well, Mark Zuckerberg owns all three of them, because I don't know if you know, he bought Instagram and WhatsApp, right? But they were all running on different platforms. So just because one went down, the other one shouldn't have gone down. Because when he bought it, he not only bought the name, he bought the platforms they were running on. So for all of them to go down, this is not a coincidence. It just isn't. I think it's a test run, to be honest with you. I think it's a test run to see exactly how they're going to do it, because they want to see just how people are going to react with these mandates for getting the shots. Now, I mean, maybe people don't react like they think they are. Maybe people just start really going up against the government for doing this. And they want to be prepared to how they're going to cut off communications with everything. Because in the United States, it's easy. They can shut the phones down. That's not a problem.
Well, down here in Africa, it is definitely not going to be easy to do that, because, well, people definitely depend on the government, but, on people do not. A lot of people do not depend on the government. There's just a handful of people who depend on the government. So taking anything is as though you never gave it in the first place. So I don't know how easy that is going to be from this onset, but I'm seeing that the Western Europe and the Americas and the Chinese people and the Japanese and all these other countries who are somewhat, nearing a superpower state, they're nearing that state, largely because of technology. And so it's easier to control people if everything, like if their daily aspects of life, everything depends on social media. And so this is a wake-up call. This can be their simulation, this can be their test run, but this is a wake-up call for you and I. This is a wake-up call for our community to think on ways of, getting your numbers. I don't know how far this goes. I don't know in 5 years how it's going to look like, but I think this is the time to prepare, and
Yeah, I know, because over here in the United States, they don't want our community to leave, because
here we can
after
exchange information. Even as we're here, we can exchange information, and that is how they're telling you that this is going to be the beginning of it. You thought COVID was going to come in and go, and then you are being graduated onto another thing. Okay, jab, and it's like that. It's gonna keep running. As if it's gonna end, and then something else, as if it's gonna end, and then something else, and all of this shutdowns and things. Isn't it just a distraction though for something weirder and bigger to come? You have to think about it. Okay, what new variants are they going to say is out there? You have to be prepared and know that they have a mode of operation or modus operandum, and then you have to read in between the lines. Let me take a few of your comments, and then let's just continue. We'll be wrapping up very soon. Kofi Labi says, happy, I agree. I personally don't believe it's a coincidence. Everything is planned to fall in place to benefit one person or the other. Happy says, Doreen, please learn history. Human beings don't change. Greed and control always has been for humans. Plum says, African Americans especially are so thrilled to be in contact with Africa after hundreds of years. Doreen says, so what are we going to do, sister? I really struggle. We have no control. Doreen says, these companies are huge, too much to lose. These companies struggle on network security issues. We are totally dependent on technology. Happy says, Doreen, we never had any control. Whoever educates you owns you. They tell you your mind is your own, but in reality, we do not. Happy, Doreen says, happy, what is the solution? Happy says, even when you think you're thinking differently, the ones that educate you put that other there for you. And welcome, Happy. I don't know if you can hear me, Happy. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, let me take this last comment and let's continue. Happy says, do not get upset. We're just exchanging our thoughts. Please don't bash me. Doreen, you see, I don't know. I don't know if Mr. Pirate Brain, you have something to say to the comments I've read.
Yeah, it's interesting because we just have to stick together. I think when Ghana did the year of return, I saw pictures, and you had people from our Congress and our from our government was over there taking pictures with the kente cloths and all. And I was like, what are these people over there for? They're coming over there doing our year of return because what they wanted to do is check and see how many of us were actually coming over here. And when they saw that so many of us were coming, they had to do something to stop it.
Yeah.
Because just imagine, you know, and I'm going to be a little blunt with this. They will see us in the street and say, nigga, go back to Africa, right? Go home. But then when we start to go home, they stop it because they can't live without us. They can't live with us, but they can't live without us because they're lazy. We do all of the work for them. Like right now, people are not going back to work over here, and they're doing all of this stuff to threaten us, to say we're not going to pay you any unemployment, everything to get us to go back to work, and people are still not going back to work because African Americans, like a lot of those people, when they had to go home from work, they didn't know what they were going to do. Well, when we went home from work, we started our own businesses. So now, even if we make less, we're not going back.
Yeah.
And they hate it. And then some of us are leaving, and they're actually going to those countries kind of following us. You know, you go to the country and you see a lot of those people over there on the beaches and stuff. You know, we know about this. Not only are they on the beaches, they're taking advantage of our children just like they do here.
Yeah.
You know, so we're seeing all of this, and we're finally saying we don't want no part of it because look, let me tell you something. When I'm 60 years old now, I turned 60 in August.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I made it. They had a lot of Sally Struthers, which was on this show called All in the Family. She used to do this thing, and you would hear the violin. She said, look, there's another child in Africa. And there would be a kid with red hair from malnutrition. His stomach would be bloated, and it'd be a fly on his nose with boogers coming out of his nose. He said, you can feed the kids in Africa. I found out this was recently that the kid that was in that video drives a nice car now. He's living well. But we still have those images of Africa that they put in us in the 80s. So we're thinking, well, why we want to go to Africa? Because they, you know, the kids are starving, you know, they got boogers on their nose and this and that. And this is not true.
No.
Once we found that out, we were bamboozled. They were telling us Africa was terrible. It was the jungle, lions, and those people, those other people, I'm not going to say the name, they over there having fun on the beaches in the sun. You know, they're on the Ghana beaches, on the Gambia beaches, on Nigerian beaches, and we always get bad news about Africa.
Yep.
Yet over here, we're getting shot down in the streets. You know, so I just think we have to stay in contact with each other so that, you know, that we have a person to call or people to call or even to guide us. You know, I mean, let's say if I want to move to Africa, to whatever country I choose, that I have somebody that I can call up. Hey, can you have somebody I can trust pick me up from the airport, or you know, because you don't know anybody. You don't. People take advantage of people at the airport. So if you have somebody you know to pick you up and maybe show you around where nice houses are, where you can maybe buy a house at a good price, those things are very important. The same as if you were going to move here. Yeah. Let's say if you was going to move here, you know, I'm in Texas. You can say, Dave, I'm coming to Texas. Can you pick me up at the airport? Well, you know I'm going to pick you up, right?
Of course, of course. I don't doubt it for a second.
That's important.
Yeah. I was hoping Happy can come on because we have just a few minutes to end the session. So we have to do more in actually keeping our communications going.
Yeah.
We have to do more in keeping our communications going. And David, Happy has
Kind of got cut off again. Are you there, Happy? Yeah, I think I might have the best internet this line over here. Uh, I can't tell if anybody can hear me either.
Okay. Hello, guys. I'm back. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
My internet is actually fluctuating because it's light out and I'm using my mobile data, so it's definitely not going to be like when I'm using my Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Plum. So a lot has been shared here, and I think it's really um mind blowing how unprepared we are. Are we prepared for this, Mr. Pirate Brain? Are we?
Yeah, I think I still have your number from WhatsApp. That's the same number as your regular telephone number, correct?
Wow,
Hello?
yeah, you do. Yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do. I think I have other numbers. So maybe let's see if I can share them. Um, so I'm going to share my number.
Okay, I have to get a pen.
552. Okay, so I just shared my number. You can keep that in my email here as well.
Had to. Let's see, I'm trying to get this down. Seems like the number's kind of long now. But yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, I saw the name up on the thing. I was like, which one is your name? Because the name on your email I always go by. So I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I forgot. Let me see. I'm writing it down. I'm also writing down Happy's number too.
Okay. So any guys, if you want to share your contact, do it now. We don't even know when the next one will come, but this is warning that we must not take lightly. Okay? We must not take this lightly. So if you have information that you would like to share, I think this is the time to share it. And this is the time. Skin Deep just shared his. Two, Mr. Pirate Brain shared his. I shared mine. And what you can do is just to screenshot the page. And then once you're done screenshotting, you can definitely go back after the chat and then pick information of anybody that you want to keep contact with. But keeping contacts is important. So go back to those books. You have to go back to those books where you used to have a diary where you write your numbers and your contacts in there. Okay. So I want to take a few of your comments, please. Just hit the like button, guys, because if you do not hit the like buttons, then we're gonna sit here crying that we don't have participation, but a lot is going on with censorship. So if you're here, family, please hit the like button. At this moment, I mean, it's the least we can do. I mean, if this whole thing is going down, at least we can hit the like button. So
Yeah.
please do hit, please do hit the like button, and let's see that you pass through here. Let's know that our voices will still keep being active and being up regardless. So I'm taking a few of your comments and we go back to conversation. So Kofi Labi is a very funny guy, very, very, very hilarious. And he's saying, Happy's comments remind me of during assessment tests. I mean, I'm sure he's thinking back in school. When you have multiple choice questions, multiple choice answers like 118, 181, 188, 811 as answers, and you're confused which one to choose. Ha ha ha. Okay. Kofi Labi says, congratulations at Pirate Brain on being 60 years old. Yeah, happy birthday to you, David.
I'm getting up there,
Plum
right?
says, you have to do your research before going to Africa. No, not trying to figure out things at the airport. That is very important. Plum says, we hear you. Happy says, I keep trying, but it's not coming through on your end. Yes, Happy keeps trying to join the panel, but it's not coming through. And I hope you don't give up. You keep trying because it might come in at one point. Happy says, we really need to tap into who we are and what our ancestors had and used what they had. Tap into our spirituality, not religion. If you're honest, what is to do for you now other than having hope? We are our ancestors. Tap in. If you need help, let me know. So Happy just shared her contact number, and Kofi Labi also shared his contact number, and I mean, it's just fun in the house. Please hit the like button. Let's keep the likes up. And this is an all. This is an all important live because we are talking about what we should have been talking about 5 years ago. And that is, what is our alternative sort of communication if these people we've trusted with our communications decide to up one day and off it all and put everything off for good? What is going to happen? Are we going to be plunged into the 18th century, 15th century, 14th century, or we have a backup plan? So I would kindly advise every single person here, sign on to as many social media apps. Just sign on to there and inform your friends and loved ones. If shit hits the fan, you should try these other apps and see if you can find me. And if you can't, this is my postal address. You can write me a letter. And if you can't not write me a letter, I don't know, maybe we should all learn astrology and look at the behavior of the stars and use it for new communication.
I'll get some
Because
carrier pigeons.
yes, please come again.
We can get some carrier pigeons. It would take a while, but you'd eventually get the message.
Yeah, it will take a while for them to cross the Atlantic Ocean,
Yeah.
but they eventually come. So we need to hit the like button at this moment and let us know that you were here. It's important that these people know that we are awake, and we when they, you know, poke us, we feel it. So hit the like button and be part of the voices that are waking up to say, let us make change. And they track these voices, they know. So be part of it. Don't let them think they will do something like this and we wouldn't know.
You
So,
know, one of the big lies that they've told us is they make us think that Africa is so far away, and it's not. But what they do is, in order for us to go to Africa, you got to go somewhere in Europe first, and then you got to catch a connecting flight to Africa, whatever country it is. I use Africa like it's one country, but I know it's not. But just to go to the continent, you have to go to a European country. But if you come straight down here to, let's say, Ghana, it's not that far. It's like a 7, 8 hour flight.
mm,
But they make it seem like it's far because we have to go to another country. It's closer to come to Africa than it was for me when I went to Argentina.
oh,
And back at that
really?
time, they had 747s. And I took a 747 and I went to, we had a stopover in Brazil. Then they went to Argentina, but we could have gone straight to Buenos Aires. But it that's farther away from Miami than it is from United States to Ghana, for example. It's closer, but they make us feel like it's so far away because they don't want us to go.
You know, that is really, it's some kind of mind fuckery that I don't even
Exactly.
understand till date. Like, it sometimes annoys me when I travel to Europe. It cost me just, I think, 150 cedis to go from Switzerland to Germany. Sorry, $150 to go from Switzerland to Germany.
Uh-huh.
But it's going to cost me like $800, $900 for me to travel from here to maybe, let's say, um, another West African country, and even more to travel to East Africa and South Africa, like on the same freaking continent. But they want to tell you that Africa is the third largest continent. Why does it freaking cost so much if we are the third largest continent? Why is it so cheap for me to travel within Europe? Is that not telling you
They
something?
do that.
That
They do.
Africa is actually bigger, mightier, and huger than they make people believe.
You can fit South America, United States, and Europe in Africa. Africa's huge, but they don't want you to believe that. Because if the whole world understands the size of Africa, the power of the United States begins to fall because they make it sound like United States is the biggest country, but it's not. It's very small.
I think that, I don't know what is going on, but entering the age of Aquarius has really awakened something in people. Because what I see is more and more and more people not just accepting bull as information. What I see more and more people doing is going back and researching what information they're being given. A few people are still drinking the Kool-Aid and thinking that everything is as perfect as they see it. And they will be surprised when everything is freaking shut down. But for those awakened people who go out there and actually do research on some of these things they see and hear, you will not be taken by surprise, because by the time this whole mother is shut, you would have prepared yourself to survive it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So any last words from everyone watching? Please hit the like button and give us some love. For those who are interested to support me and the channel as well, you can go to www.patreon.com/The Woke Africa Show and support us with your love token. Anything that you can, we would appreciate. So let me see your comments. I like to read the comments for last, and then we wrap up. So um Kofi Labi says, send messages through the stars. Wow, career pigeons, not a bad idea. Okay, I'm laughing too, because I mean, our ancestors communicated through um the stars. That's how come they birthed astrology. Astrology was not birthed by, whatever. It was our ancestors who did that. Plum says, had to go to Malta to get into Africa. Can you imagine? Plum, are you in Africa? Which part of Africa are you? I'd definitely love to know. Happy says, Mr. Pirate Brain, you're right. My grand uncles told me about that. Yeah, Africa is a huge ass continent. Why do you think they've been mining our resources for how long, and we still have mineral deposits like it's never even been touched? This continent is huge, and you have not been made to know that. So if they will lie to you about the size of your continent, what else can they be lying to you about? That is a question worth asking. That is why you must double check, triple check, and make sure that every information you're being given, has some kind of veracity to it and some truth to it. Okay. So I'm still
What if I
taking the
told
comment.
you? What
Yeah,
if I
please go
told
ahead.
you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What if I told you that Africa was not on the bottom of the planet, but was on the top?
Oh my God, I would not be surprised, because the Greenwich Meridian line passes right through Tema, and that is supposed to be the center of the world. So how is the center of the world at the bottom of the globe? I have asked myself this question for so long. Okay.
That's because it's not. It's at the top.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? There's so much we don't know about ourselves and our continent and who we are as Africans and Black people, and that this is the age of Aquarius. So if you're listening to me and you're hearing me, this age gives you the audacity to attempt to know who you are. It gives you the audacity to attempt to know who you are. It gives you the audacity to say that I've been told every single thing, who my God is, who what language I should speak, what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. But for this time, in this age of Aquarius, well, I am going to try and find out about myself. Who am I? If you can simply answer that question, who am I, then definitely you are onto something. But if you can't, and you're drunk to the system and everything you're told and you believe everything, don't blame anyone. Don't blame anyone, because nothing is at what it seems. And I can tell you that for a fact, because when I started to practice herbal medicine, oh my God, I know my life has changed. I know I am the type of person who didn't even like to hear herbal medicine, because oh, how can all these herbal medicines be curing 7, 8, 10 diseases? And they go out there and say it. But trust me, just neem tree taught me the biggest lesson of my life when I was taking it because I had fever, but I realized that certain lumps were being melted away. I realized that indeed, like everything you think it's a funny thing, everything you think it's just something that you are told, and sometimes you even make fun of. Look at them again. When you take your cutlass and you want to weed and cut every plant around you away because you think they're weeds, look at those plants again, take a picture of those plants, send it to someone and ask the person if they know, and you will be amazed what that plant can do. Everything you
Well,
know, everything you think you know is upside
around,
down. Please,
around
please, please, please go
I'm sorry,
ahead.
around the early part of the 20th century, Rockefeller, who became a big oil tycoon, he also discovered that he could make drugs with petroleum. So a lot of our drugs are petroleum based, and he sent people around the world to find plants, and they would actually put patents on it or either burn down the rainforests. Have you ever started to think about why these rainforests were burning down? They try to make
Yeah,
it was an accident, but it wasn't. It was because a lot of these virgin forests in Africa and in Brazil, they had all of the plants that could cure us. So they wanted to tear them down, and that way we wouldn't have our indigenous plants to cure us, and then we'd have to depend on them for their medicines for us to heal. And when they went to Africa, this was World War One and World War Two, and in the 1800s, the first people they killed off were our medicine men. Those are some of the first people they get. They don't tell you that in history, but they killed off the medicine men so they couldn't heal us with the natural herbs or even find those herbs wherever we went. You know, let's say we're in the United States. Those medicine men were killed off before we even set foot on the earth.
well, they will be in for a surprise because in this age of awakening, where people are waking up from their slumber,
Mm-hmm.
people are gonna become their own medicine men. Then they're gonna have to kill everybody from the planet because people are gonna become their own medicine men. People are gonna. I'm starting to go vegan even without knowing. I've just lost interest in eating any kind of meat.
You saw what they
I'm
did
just,
to they tried to assassinate the president of, was it Madagascar, because he
yeah,
found an herbal medicine to cure COVID,
yeah,
and they tried to kill him.
yeah.
So if we can
Unbelievable.
overcome this big thing that they're doing and just separate from them, the problem is a lot of us don't want to separate. You know, like they allow them into the countries down there. They need to stop because they're not allowing you to come to America. They're blocking Africans from getting into the country. I don't know if you saw what they did to the Haitians. They was whipping the Haitians like they were slaves, you know. But yet
I
they
just you know, sometimes when I see Africans just losing their ability to think, the when you mention America, people in Africa are like, they will look, somebody paid 7,000 US dollars to an agent to get him a visit visa, and he went to the United States and slept outside on the cold street. All he wanted to do was to go to the United States. I mean,
I don't know why when you can. You can sleep out under the stars in Ghana or whatever country you're from. I mean, the temperatures, I'm sure it gets cold there, but for the most part, they're not bad temperatures. Why would you want to
I
come
just
sleep
think
in the cold
I just
street?
think Hollywood done a number on our people.
Yes.
The television done a number on our people. That spells they cast through their entertainment. It's done a number on our people.
It's
And
done.
I'm praying that the awakening will hit people in the chest and they would wake up one day and realize, you know, it's all been a scam from day one.
Yes. It's just been one big lie after the even and they tell you, look, they tell you what they're doing. Think about it. The word tell lie vision.
Exactly.
They tell you what
Telling
they're
lies
doing.
to your vision. Telling lies to your vision.
Exactly. They let you know what they're doing. And that's I think that's part of the agreement. They can do whatever they want to us. They just have to tell us what they're doing. You know, you go watch the movies in Hollywood. Look, about 4 years ago, they came out with the movie called Contagion. Okay.
Yep.
Contagion was a global pandemic that started in Africa. I mean, not in Africa, in China.
Yep.
It started in China. They told us what they were going to do.
But you see, the whole thing is they still have failed. That if the only requirement is tell them what you're going to do, they still have failed because the best they can do is trickery, and the trickery is what has people still on their Kool-Aid. Because if it's not for trickery, why would you tell a people to eat MGS or MSG, that chemical in seasoning
In Chinese
product,
food. Yeah.
and people will eat it and give themselves diabetes and all kinds of nasty ass diseases, and they wouldn't even think about the shit. I'm sorry, sometimes I go off.
Speak
They
like
wouldn't
you
even
speak.
think about these things they eat on their food when they're sick, because they still continue to eat these foods even when they're sick. And it's the food that is killing you. Food is weaponized. If it's not because of trickery, why would people be eating food that is cursed if it's not because of trickery?
Yeah,
Why
and
would
you can
people
actually go to
go out
Africa
there
and eat
into
organic
the
food.
market and buy these foods? Please go ahead.
Yeah, you could go to Africa and eat organic food. It's not even named organic, but it is organic, you know?
Yeah,
And you thinking you go to Africa, where you gonna find this food? A lot of these foods, see, here's the thing. The foods that's over in Africa, we only bought a few of those things over here. I think some of the yams we brought over to the United States when we came, okra,
okay,
and some of the spinach, I think we brought over.
okay.
A lot of this food that's over here, we're not supposed to be eating. I think every food that's on every continent is for the people that live on that continent. It's the medicine for the people that were born there into that particular continent. I think
Exactly.
African Americans go back to Africa, we'll get healthy just by eating those African foods. You know,
Exactly. Oh,
I mean,
like definitely. If African Americans came over here and they started eating some of the herbs and the natural wild vegetables that we have down here, a lot of healing is going to take place. A lot of healing.
yeah, yeah,
Let me
I
take
think
a few of the comments, Mr. Pirate Brain, and let's
so.
go on. So, Happy says, Mr. Pirate Brain, you are the map. Oh, okay, I don't know what that means. Before the 1800s were totally upside down, and the sizes of the continents are a little more accurate. Rugged discipline says all manipulation. Plum says enjoy the good night to all until the next time. Thank you, Plum, for your participation. We appreciate you. Happy, can you hear me? Okay, Happy is off as well. Okay. Rugged discipline says keep you dependent on them. Yes, if they're providing your every need, you are dependent on them. Um, Rugged says one world order. So they called so the so-called comforts. Happy says the schools in Africa aren't controlled by traditional Africans. They're taught that they aren't good enough or worth anything, so you need to go to a colonial country to make something of themselves. Well, that is also facts. Um, but it's not, well, there's to every rule there's an exception, and a few people are trying to change that narrative, but still more work needs to be done. Well, so far we have come to the end of this broadcast. Um, David, thank you so much. I really always appreciate
It was
your
good talking to
valuable
you.
insight.
Yeah, it was really good talking to you again, and I'm glad you're well.
Now I have your details, so we could probably keep staying in touch.
Yeah.
And I'm planning on coming more to share a lot more of what is going on in global Black Africa. So please keep your mind alert for my information as I share as and when I share it. I'd like to thank everybody. Please hit the like button on your way out. I
Do
would
you give
kindly
an advice
appreciate that.
so we can know when you're coming? So, like advance notice?
Sure. I will definitely do a schedule of um my broadcast and make sure it's maybe a day in advance, so you when you go to my channel you can definitely set a reminder when
Oh,
um I
it
put
doesn't even have
them
to be
there.
a day in advance as long as it's like 2 or 3 hours in advance. You know,
Okay,
that's
okay,
enough.
okay.
That's enough time.
That worked excellently. I was hoping to hear from Bijou Noir tonight, but I think she couldn't stay long enough. And so, thank you so much, everybody who joined us today. As I said, if you want to support this channel, you can go to Patreon and do that. Exactly. This is the Woke Africa Show. We are always going to come to you and have conversations with you that is intended to open your eyes to who you are as a global Black African, and also it is just dedicated to, our awakening and guiding us to the right destination. These conversations are purposefully done with you in mind. Thank you so much for joining us and have a fantastic evening. Keep your eyes on the social media. See how they come back. If it's something that is staged, I think your soul will speak to you. So please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, Kofi Labi. Kofi Labi says, good work, AJ. We're glad to have 60-year-old intellectual on board. Kofi, yeah. Thank you, and please subscribe to the Woke Africa Show, guys. Don't leave, just subscribe, and let's have more of these conversations. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic week.
You take care.
Peace, love, abundance, joy, and bounty to every single one of you. Thank you so much, and take good care of yourself. Till I come your way again, I'm out.
Take
Thank
care.
you.